Hello everyone, my name is Majid Mansouri. I'll be presenting our work on Android dual-use apps used in intimate partner surveillance. Intimate partner violence, or IPV in short, is any form of abuse by a former or current intimate partner such as wife, husband, spouse, boyfriend, or girlfriend. IPV is a serious issue that affects people everywhere around the world. In fact, one among every three women experience IPV globally. And IPV is actually a major cause of death for women. Unfortunately, the numbers have increased significantly during the pandemic because of stay-at-home orders. Note that IPV is an issue that affects all people regardless of their age, language, race, and gender. Unfortunately, abusers are exploiting technology to conduct IPV as shown by prior work and news articles. Abusers exploit technology to spy on their partners' locations, calls, and more, as well as to harass and intimidate victims. In this work, we will focus on intimate partner surveillance, or IPS in short, which is the use of technology to spy on intimate partners. With technology, IPS can be easily conducted. Abusers are installing applications on smartphones and tablets that allow them to spy on victims. These apps are available in official app stores such as Google Play and can be easily downloaded. We call these apps dual-use apps because they are designed for a legitimate use case, such as to track your own devices, but they can be easily repurposed by abusers for IPS. For example, Find My Device app can be installed on the victim's device and used by the abuser to track the victim's location, although the app was not designed for spying. Prior work have studied English dual-use apps found in the US. However, since IPV occurs everywhere around the world, it is important to expand our knowledge beyond English and the US. We ask, what types of dual-use apps available in languages other than English? And are these apps easily found in other languages? In this work, we investigate dual-use apps available in other languages. Our work is the first global measurement study in dual-use apps. We crawled Play Store using 15 popular spoken languages supported by the store. We found that Play Store does not always block queries that mention IPS explicitly, and that the store suggests IPS queries in some languages. We found more than 800 dual-use apps and estimate that our dataset contains about 4,000 dual-use apps. We also found that dual-use apps are localized more often than other apps. Finally, due to new policies by Google, apps do not promote IPS anymore, but they still provide the same IPS capabilities found by prior work. We first present our crawling pipeline. We prepared seed queries in 15 languages. These languages were chosen based on the number of native speakers and whether the language is supported by Play Store. For each language, we relied on native speakers to create seed queries. We expanded our set of queries by collecting queries suggested by the store. We found more than 6,000 queries in total. Using the final set of queries, we crawled the store and collected apps for 47 days in 2020. We collected more than 50,000 unique apps in total. A lot of these apps were not in English, so we used Google Translate to translate the metadata of non-English apps. Then we applied a machine learning classifier to remove irrelevant apps. Finally, we manually labeled more than 3,000 apps and found 854 dual-use apps. We estimate that our dataset has around 4,000 dual-use apps. We observed several interesting patterns in the suggested queries and apps found on Google Play in different languages. First, we analyzed IPS queries and how the store handles them. By IPS queries, we mean queries that explicitly talk about intimate partner surveillance. Unfortunately, Play Store suggests many IPS queries as seen in this example. We found that Play Store suggests explicit queries in 9 languages, including English. For Malay, Portuguese, and Spanish, the store suggested more than 30 explicit IPS queries. Malay had the highest number of IPS queries. We found 97 IPS queries in total in Malay. While IPS queries are suggested sometimes, we found that the store blocks some IPS queries, such as track my husband. The blocking was mostly observed in English with 22 blocked queries, which is due to new protections against IPV by Google. However, we found that these protections are not applied equally across languages. For example, when translating track my husband to Vietnamese, you will get many relevant results. We found that for 9 languages, no IPS queries were blocked. For other languages, only less than 10 queries were blocked. We found that IPS query blocking and suggestion is not uniform across languages. We did not find any language where all IPS queries are blocked and no new IPS queries are suggested. This is in fact the best case scenario and what should be done. No IPS query should be suggested to users, and all IPS queries must be blocked. Now we will look into our analysis of dual-use apps. We found that apps do not promote IPS explicitly anymore. Instead, they promote things like tracking your children. This change is caused by new policies by Google. However, abusers can still find relevant results and the same powerful capabilities shown by prior work. We noticed that IPS capabilities are distributed differently across languages. Here, we show the highest and lowest fractions of dual-use apps with specific capability across languages. For example, some dual-use apps allow you to access the camera or microphone of the victim's device anytime. These apps with access capabilities are rarely found using Hindi queries. However, you have the highest chance of finding them using Vietnamese. You may refer to the paper for more details about how capabilities are distributed. We also looked at whether apps are easily findable by querying multiple languages. On the left, you can see that many dual-use apps are found when searching using 2 or more languages. In fact, 77% of dual-use apps are found using at least 2 languages, and 27% of dual-use apps are not found using English queries. Compared to an average app, it's easier to find dual-use apps by querying multiple languages. Similarly, we looked at the localization of dual-use apps. By localization, we mean whether the metadata of apps is available in multiple languages. You can see that dual-use apps are localized more often than an average app. 47% of dual-use apps are localized to at least 2 languages, and 17% of dual-use apps are not localized to English. This means that by looking at more languages, we can cover more dual-use apps. We looked at apps found in Play Store, but there are more official Android stores. So what about these stores? Can abusers find dual-use apps there easily? To answer this, we crawled 4 popular Chinese stores. We picked Chinese stores because Google Play is blocked in China. And since many Android users speak Chinese, we considered crawling stores accessible in China. We collected a total of 2,484 unique apps. After flagging all these apps, we found only 110 dual-use apps. Only 17 of these apps are found in Play Store, and only 13 are available in at least 2 Chinese stores. We compare the results from crawling Chinese stores to the results obtained from crawling Play Store using Chinese queries. We found that the probability of finding a dual-use app using Chinese queries in Play Store is 3 times higher than the probability of finding dual-use apps in the 4 Chinese stores we crawled. We also noticed that the distribution of capabilities is different between Play Store and Chinese stores. For example, abusers have a better chance of finding apps with recording capabilities in Chinese stores, but a lower chance of finding apps that share data from the device. We believe that these differences are caused by differences in searching algorithms and popularity of these stores among developers. So comparing our results to the 2018 study, what did change? First, 83% of dual-use apps found by prior work got deleted. We don't know whether they were deleted by Google or by developers, but these apps are not available anymore. Also, in our crawl, we found only 3 apps that mention IPS explicitly. These apps were reported to Google for violating policies. Finally, we crawled Play Store this year again for 1 day. We estimate that more than 2,000 apps are found in our last crawl in 2022. We noticed that dual-use apps get deleted frequently, but newer dual-use apps get uploaded in place of the old ones. To summarize, we crawled Play Store in 15 languages searching for dual-use apps. We found that Google Play does not always block IPS queries and suggests IPS queries in some languages. We also found that some dual-use apps are not found using English queries, and that many dual-use apps are localized to multiple languages. Finally, although dual-use apps are not promoting IPS anymore, abusers can still find powerful capabilities that allow them to conduct IPS. Future work can investigate how to detect whether a dual-use app is getting abused or not, since deleting these apps from stores is not possible as they have legitimate use cases. Also, future work can explore whether developers are promoting IPS outside official stores. If you have any questions or comments, you can ask now or feel free to contact me at the email shown on the screen. Thank you for listening.